It's a city expense you have probably never heard about.
Validated parking for people doing business with the city. But as News 13's Lizzie Mitri reveals, on special assignment, until recently, no one was making sure people weren't taking advantage of the situation.
Events like Summerfest and the Twinkle Light Parade depend on public participation to be a success. And when people want to apply to show off a float in the parade or be a food vendor at a festival,
welcome to Civic Center parking structure. Please push for ticket.
they stop by City Hall and head to Albuquerque's Cultural Services Department. To encourage that community involvement, the department has a stamp to validate parking for visitors in the city-owned Civic Plaza parking garage. But News 13 learned at least one person working in this office was also getting her own ticket stamped 2 to 3 times a week for parking privileges on the taxpayer's dime.
My reaction was, we are not doing that.
Cultural Services Director Shel Sanchez explains that's against the rules.
Staff that take a job here, they know that they have to pay for parking.
That means $8 a day or $84 for a monthly parking pass.
So that's a part of their decision in terms of whether or not they're going to work at City Hall.
In this case, though, Sanchez doesn't think the worker was trying to cheat the system and save money. She chalks it up to a misunderstanding, saying a temp, technically not a city employee, who's been working in cultural services since before Sanchez, may not have known better.
Since I wasn't here when she was brought on, I can't speak to what she was told or wasn't told.
We also noticed lately the department's bill to pay for validated parking tickets at the Civic Plaza parking structure has gone up.
In fiscal year 2018, Cultural Services says it spent about $12,900, up $3,000 from the year before and about $2,500 from the year before that.
Please take your ticket.
We wondered why. Is public participation way up? Are more city workers from other locations swinging by on official business and using the parking stamp? Or are workers at this office misusing it to skip out on paying for parking themselves? Turns out the city has no idea. Cultural Services says it wasn't keeping any records on whose parking it was paying for or how often.
A paper trail, if you will.
Ken Bramlett is Albuquerque's Inspector General. His office investigates suspected fraud, waste, and mismanagement within city government. While he can't speak specifically to Cultural Services situation, he says a missing paper trail is never good.
And the propensity for mismanagement, misuse of that money, or theft rises substantially.
And in his line of work, every dollar counts.
We want them to be good stewards of the city's money, so it doesn't matter how small it is.
Sanchez agrees, saying that's why in January this year, she had her department start logging whose parking it's paying for.
For us, this started because we're really looking hard at every single line of our budget.
This sign-in sheet is how she learned someone in her office wasn't following the rules. But what was happening before the record keeping is anybody's guess.
Do you have any way of knowing if any other employees were taking advantage of that and getting free parking?
I didn't have concerns when, I started, instituted the log for us to do it. It's really to gather information, and that was really to make a decision about how much money we want to have in the budget for parking.
Please take your ticket and thank you for parking with us.
On special assignment, Lizzie Mitri, KRQE News 13.
Totals from the city show the Cultural Services Department will have spent more than $13,000 to validate parking when this fiscal year ends this month.